Good afternoon and welcome to the January 11th, 2024 work session of the Henrico County School Board. The first item on our agenda this afternoon is actually the approval of today's agenda. Board members, may I have a nomination, please? I'm sorry. May I have a motion, please?
I move that the school board approve the agenda for today's meeting.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Shea. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins. And now for all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. The agenda has been approved. And now, Superintendent, the meeting is yours.
Thank you, Chair Kinsella. Good afternoon, board members. Pursuant to Chapter 7, Title 22.1 of the Code of Virginia, the superintendent will conduct the election of a new chair of the school board for 2024. All right, we're now going to conduct the election for the chair of the school board, again for the calendar year 2024, and thereafter until his or her successor is elected and qualified. Are there any nominations for the position of school board chair?
Madam Superintendent, I'd like to nominate our current vice chair, Ms. Alicia Atkins of the Varina District.
Okay, nomination heard. Are there any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, the nominations are closed. Is there a motion on the nomination of Alicia Atkins as chair?
I move to approve the nomination of Alicia Atkins to serve as chair of the school board for the calendar year 2024 and thereafter until her successor is elected and qualified.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Do we need a second?
Okay, are there any opposed? And there are no abstentions, so the motion passes. Congratulations, Madam Chair.
Colleagues, I'd like to take a moment to pause and of privilege. I wrote a poem in appreciation if I were to become chair, and indeed that day has come. In leadership's embrace, a Black woman chairs here, a catalyst, a force, with a vision that I endeavor to make clear, fostering introspection, thoughtfulness, love given and received, near and far, hear me. Thank you for making this moment of history. Decisions we make echoes through the years, a lasting impact. We are now dispelling fears. In communities we mold, a powerful decree. Our students, future leaders, their destiny. Pride swells in leading alongside the true, Mrs. Shea, Mr. Irving, Mrs. Kinsella, Dr. Cashwell, Mr. Young, and yes, Ms. Burton too. A dedicated crew, guided by love, expertise, compassion grand. Purpose is what unites us, focused and strong, commitment to the right to achieve, because we all want to belong. Thank you. So now, I am honored to preside over the election for Vice Chair of the School Board for the calendar year 2024 and thereafter until his or her successor is elected and qualified. Are there any nominations for the position of School Board Vice Chair? I would like to nominate Mrs. Marcy Shea for Vice Chair. Are there any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, the nominations are closed. Is there a motion on the nomination of Mrs. Shea as Vice Chair?
I move to approve the nomination of Ms. Shea to serve as Vice Chair of the School Board for the calendar year 2024 and thereafter until his or her successor is elected and qualified.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Congratulations, Mrs. Shea, Vice Chair of the School Board. Next, I am pleased to conduct the election, the appointment of an individual to assume the role of clerk to the school board. In accordance with school board policy, nominations for this position are to be put forth by our esteemed Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Cashwell. Do you have a nomination for the position of clerk to the school board?
Madam Chair, it is my pleasure to nominate Ms. Tiffany Burton as clerk to the school board for the calendar year 2024 and thereafter until her successor is elected and qualified.
Thank you, Dr. Cashwell. Any other nominations? Hearing no other nominations, the nominations are closed. Is there a motion on the nomination of Ms. Burton as clerk to the school board?
I move to approve the nomination of Ms. Burton as clerk of the school board for the calendar year 2024 and thereafter until her successor is elected and qualified.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Congratulations and thank you, Ms. Tiffany Burton. In accordance with the Code of Virginia, Section 22.1-76, the school board is required to approve a designee of the division superintendent to attend meetings of the school board in the absence or inability of the superintendent to attend. Dr. Cashwell, do you have a recommendation?
Yes, Madam Chair, it is my pleasure to recommend that the Chief of School Leadership be designated as my designee to attend board meetings. In the event that the Chief of School Leadership would be unable to attend, the Chief of Staff would be named as the secondary designee to attend a school board meeting in my absence or in my inability to attend.
Is there a motion to accept the superintendent's recommendation that the Chief of School Leadership, Dr. Grant, and in their absence, the Chief of Staff, Ms. Holly Coy, be designated as the superintendent designee?
I move to accept the superintendent's recommendation that the Chief of School Leadership, and in his or her absence, the Chief of Staff, be designated as the superintendent's designee.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Cashwell.
Thank you. And for the next item, it's my recommendation that the school board establish the second and fourth Thursdays of each month as the meeting days of the County School Board of Henrico County, Virginia, to comply with Chapter 7, Title 22.1 of the Code of Virginia, noting that meeting dates may be added or changed throughout the year as necessary.
Is there a motion to approve the second and fourth Thursdays of each month as the meeting days of the County School Board of Henrico County, Virginia?
I move to approve the second and fourth Thursdays of each month as the meeting days of the County School Board of Henrico County, Virginia.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. We will now move on to committee assignments. Colleagues, you have had an opportunity to review the assignments. Are there any questions, changes, discussion, or thoughts? Hearing no questions or changes, I will proceed with verbally sharing the assignments. Also note that they will be available on the HCPS School Board webpage. For the school board advisory committees, we have a primary and an alternate for each of these school board advisory committees. And they are Career and Technical Education Business Advisory, Christy Kinsella. Alternate, Ryan Young. Equity and Diversity Advisory Committee, Ryan Young. Alternate, Alicia Atkins. Gifted Education Advisory Committee, Marcy Shea. Alternate, Ryan Young. School Health Advisory Board, Alicia Atkins. Alternate, Madison Irving. Special Education Advisory Committee, Madison Irving. Alternate, Christy Kinsella. For our Superintendent Advisory Committees, we have the Internal Audit Committee. Representing that committee is Ryan Young and Madison Irving. Multilingual Learner Advisory Committee, Christy Kinsella. Henrico Federal Programs Advisory Committee, Alicia Atkins. Early Learning Preschool Family Committee, Ryan Young. Instructional Materials Review Committee, Alicia Atkins. Family and Community Engagement Committee, Christy Kinsella. Policy Committee, Christy Kinsella and Marcy Shea. Strategic Planning Committee, Marcy Shea and Madison Irving. Student Advisory Committee, Christy Kinsella. And for our external committees, Code RVA Regional High School, Marcy Shea. Henrico County Self-Insurance Trustees Committee, Marcy Shea. Henrico County Vocational Technical Education Foundation, Madison Irving. Henrico Education Foundation, Madison Irving. Alternate, Marcy Shea. Henrico Police Athletic League, Ryan Young. Maggie L. Walker Governor School, Alicia Atkins. Alternate, Ryan Young. Also, we would like to take a moment to thank Mrs. Kinsella for her service of leadership as chair with a token of appreciation. As you can see, I'm opening it up for her. I'm excited. I also want to read the plaque out loud for everyone to hear. Christy Kinsella, by the County School Board of Henrico County, Virginia, in appreciation of your outstanding leadership and dedication as chair of the school board, January 12th, 2023 to January 11th, 2024. Thank you. And if we can stand and applaud.
Important moment for a quick photo op. Thanks for your patience.
The next item on the agenda is closed session. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
I move that the school board go into closed session for the discussion of matters covered under items A2 of section 2.2-3711 of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended pertaining to a request from release from compulsory attendance that would involve the disclosure of information contained in scholastic records concerning individual students.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We we will now go into closed session. We will reconvene the work session at the conclusion of our closed meeting. We're back. We will now certify closed session. Is there a motion to certify closed session?
I move the school board certify by a recorded vote that to the best of each school board member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from the open meeting requirements of the Virginia Freedom of Information Act and identified in the motion authorizing the closed meeting were heard, discussed, or considered in the closed meeting.
Is there a second?
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Closed session has been certified. Madam Superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. I am asking that you approve the request for release from compulsory school attendance for student case number 23-24-CA-1, and the name of the student is protected under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act.
Colleagues, is there a motion?
I move that the school board approve the request to release from compulsory school attendance for student case number 23-24-CA-1.
Is there a second?
Second.
Who wants it?
Second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Next are the approval of consent items. Are there any requests that an item be separated for school board discussion and/or individual action? Hearing none, is there a motion?
I move that the school board accept, approve, and/or award items 6.0 through 6.04 on the consent agenda as presented. 6.01 through 6.04.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The ayes have it. Let's see. Next on the agenda is public forum. Citizens had until 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, January 10th, to submit comments for the board's review using a link on the HCPS website. Citizens took advantage of that opportunity, and we sincerely appreciate their input. Comments were compiled and provided to the board prior to the start of today's meeting, and those comments have also been posted in board docs. Next, we'll move on to unfinished business. Colleagues, are there any follow-ups or discussion on any old business items? Next is new business. Are there any new business items? All right, we'll move forward with announcements and adjournment of our meeting dates. The school board's next meeting will be a work session scheduled on Thursday, January 25th at 3 p.m. and a monthly meeting at 6:30 p.m. The meeting times may be adjusted as needed. This meeting is adjourned.